Thank you. Okay, so what I wanted to start off with tonight is I want to tell you a little bit about how I got up here, and then because I think there's some value in this sort of idea of the amateur creative, that I want to share some things that I learned, and hopefully you'll get a little bit from that. And for me, it all sort of started with Hemingway. I had this goal of being a better writer. That was a New Year's resolution I set for myself. And I was really sort of struggling with it until the friend told me this story. Hemingway once, supposedly in a bar over a lot of drinks and some bravado, had a contest with some friends on who could write the shortest short story. And Hemingway supposedly won with this one. And when my friend told me this story, I was kind of struck with sort of a light bulb moment, and something really went off in my head that this was finally something I could do, as opposed to writing a novel or a screenplay or a comic book or learning to play a harmonica. This was something I actually might be able to keep going and keep doing. And so out of that was born this idea of the 4-sentence story project, which every day I write a 4-sentence story like this one and post it on my blog. And it's really been incredible. It's transformed my writing. I write better, I edit better, and I've met all these great people through it. But that is really a lot about me and sort of where I came to this. What I'd like to share with you is a little bit of what you might be able to take away. And one of the first things is do a lot of work. People always think that there's this sort of magic formula to being creative, or only certain people are creative. Well, it's only by doing whatever it is you want to do, by doing this volume of work, that you get to be good at it. There's no secret formula. It's doing a lot of work, and I hate to be the one to break that to you if I am, but it's only through doing a lot of work that you get to be creative. It's not something that you're born with. We've all got it. So do a lot of work. The second thing, make mistakes, and this is probably the greatest lesson I learned because it's the one I learned the most. But make a lot of mistakes. Mistakes are the roadmaps that show how a person with a creative idea gets to be a person who does creative work. And I think it's really important to go and do these things and make mistakes and screw up and fix them, that we improve. And I want to share a quick story. My slide's going to probably change, but that's okay. About 6 weeks ago, I wrote a 5-sentence story by accident. And I left it up there for a whole day until someone pointed out to me that I lost the ability to count. And so it really bothered me, but it was a great process to learn to go back and edit and fix those things, and it really made a difference for me. The other thing is get feedback. When I started this project, I was terrified of showing it to anyone. I thought I would keep it in my laptop in this nice safe place where no one would ever see it. But I wouldn't be up here today if I had done that. And I don't mean just because I wouldn't have met the people who asked me to speak, which is true. I mean that I probably still wouldn't be writing. The feedback is what sort of keeps you going. It's what keeps you, it's your friend in this process. You need the feedback. And on the other side, perfect is your enemy. People think that they've got to wait for this perfect product, and it's never coming. You'll never get to perfect, and it's one of the barriers we let ourselves set up to not do things. So you've got to take your process and you've got to put a deadline on it. And it's not to limit yourself, it's to challenge yourself, to finish things, to actually get somewhere with what you're doing. And one of the things I find when I get to a point where I'm sort of at a loss, where I'm stopped, is to go somewhere, get out of your space and go looking for inspiration. Now, I like to go for a walk. It's my thing, and it's not a metaphor. I actually like to go for a walk, like in the evenings, and think about what I'm going to write. But find whatever works for you. Find your creative place. Find what inspires your work, and go to that place, either physically or sort of mentally, and just be there with your inspiration. And this is the most important thing of all, is that you've got to enjoy it. Now, some days you'll enjoy it more than others, trust me, but you've got to enjoy it. And when I get down, or when I get frustrated, or I write, my 7th story in one night and throw them all out, I try and take myself back to that place where, at the beginning of this project, where I looked at how inspired I was to just start and do this thing. And I can't emphasize this enough, love what you do. You've got these great passions, and, we're also afraid to sort of express them, but that's what I want to leave you with, is start something. We all have these great creative things, and it doesn't come from being, a capital C, capital P creative person. It comes from taking your passion, whether it's building robots or painting or whatever, it's taking that passion and doing something with it. So if I can give you anything, if I can leave you with anything, is start something today. Whatever it is, whatever that creative thing that you have sort of percolating in the back of your head, just start it, just do it. I'm serious. This is how to find me. I'd love to sort of chat more because 5 minutes isn't enough. I'm happy to sort of give you sort of more feedback or help you or give you a kick in the seat of your pants if that's what you need to help you get started. But thank you.